The African sun blazes mercilessly above the endless expanse of the savannah, its golden rays shimmering across a sea of tall, whispering grasses. The air is thick with heat, and the land stretches out in every direction, dotted with ancient acacia trees whose gnarled branches cast fleeting shadows on the parched earth below. This is a realm of abundance and danger, where herds of antelope graze warily, their ears flicking at the slightest sound, and elephants lumber through the grass, their massive forms stirring clouds of dust. The savannah is alive with movement. Zebras, wildebeest, and warthogs all play their part in the intricate web of life. Here the eternal struggle between predator and prey unfolds beneath the watchful gaze of circling vultures. Every creature, from the smallest rodent to the most formidable carnivore, is bound by the unyielding laws of survival. The grasslands echo with the calls of birds and the distant roars of lions, a constant reminder that life and death are never far apart. For a mother leopard, this world is both sanctuary and battlefield. She lies in the dappled shade, her golden eyes scanning the horizon, every muscle in her lithe body attuned to the subtlest shifts in her environment. Her coat, a tapestry of rosettes and shadows, blends seamlessly with the mottled light beneath the acacias. She is a phantom, moving with silent precision through the undergrowth, her presence betrayed only by the faintest rustle of leaves. Patience is her greatest weapon. She crouches low in the grass, every sense heightened, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Yet her mind is not solely on the hunt. A deeper, more urgent responsibility weighs upon her. Nestled close to her side is her cub, a fragile, wide-eyed reflection of herself. The cub's soft fur is still marked with faint ghostly spots, its movements clumsy and uncertain. It is utterly dependent on its mother, trusting her to shield it from the dangers that lurk in every shadow. The bond between mother and cub is fierce and unbreakable. She grooms her offspring with gentle licks, her rough tongue smoothing the cub's fur, her eyes never straying far from the world beyond their hiding place. This tiny life is her legacy, the hope of her bloodline carried forward into an uncertain future. To keep her cub safe while she hunts, the mother leopard must rely on her ingenuity. She grasps the cub gently in her jaws, her powerful muscles rippling beneath her skin as she searches for a sanctuary that will shield her young from the ever-present threats of the savannah. The hunt demands her full attention, and so she must leave her cub behind, hidden from prying eyes and prowling predators. But the ground below teems with danger. Lions, hyenas and wild dogs patrol the plains, their senses honed to detect the faintest sign of weakness or opportunity. The answer to this peril lies above, in the towering acacia trees that rise like sentinels over the grasslands. Their branches form a natural fortress, high above the reach of most predators. With remarkable strength and agility, the mother leopard ascends the rough trunk, her cub dangling securely from her jaws. She chooses a secluded branch hidden by a curtain of leaves and places her cub there with infinite care. This treetop nursery is a sanctuary in the sky, a place where the cub can remain concealed from the prowling dangers below. The thick foliage muffles its scent and shields it from view, offering a fragile sense of security. From this lofty perch, the cub gazes down at the world, its small body pressed close to the bark, ears twitching at every unfamiliar sound. It is both spectator and participant in the drama of the savannah, learning the rhythms of life from a place of relative safety. Yet even here, danger is never far. The cub's instincts urge it to remain silent and still, but its youth betrays it. An accidental cry, a sudden movement, could draw the attention of a passing predator. Below, the relentless hunters of the savannah prowl, their noses lifted to the wind, searching for any sign of vulnerability. The scent of a leopard, faint but unmistakable, can drift on the breeze, a silent invitation to those who would do harm. The cub, though instinctively cautious, is still learning the ways of the wild. A single plaintive cry could spell disaster, echoing through the branches and betraying its presence. The wind, ever shifting and unpredictable, carries scents across the savannah. Predators below pause, nostrils flaring as they catch the faintest whiff of leopard on the air. The mother leopard is acutely aware of these dangers. Her every instinct is sharpened by the knowledge that her cub's life hangs in the balance. She hesitates, torn between the urgent need to hunt and the overwhelming urge to remain by her cub's side. Every step away from the tree is a test of her resolve, a gamble against the unpredictable threats that roam the land. As she moves through the undergrowth, her eyes flick back to the tree, her mind racing with worry. She must hunt swiftly and return before danger finds her cub. With her cub secured, she slips down the tree, her movements fluid and silent, vanishing into the dense foliage below. Her senses are razor-sharp, every muscle coiled in anticipation. She becomes a shadow among shadows, stalking her prey with unmatched precision. Today, her patience is rewarded. She brings down an impala, her powerful jaws closing around the animal with lethal efficiency. The kill is hard won, a testament to her skill and determination. It will provide the nourishment she and her cub need to endure the challenges of the wild. But as she prepares to secure her prize, a sound slices through the stillness, a distant, desperate cry that sends a jolt of fear through her heart. It is the unmistakable scream of her cub, high above in the branches, its voice trembling with terror. Instantly the impala is forgotten. The urgency of hunger is replaced by a surge of protective fury. She races across the savannah, her body a blur of speed and power, every thought focused on reaching her cub before it is too late. Muscles tensed, senses blazing, she prepares to face whatever threat awaits, driven by the unbreakable bond between mother and child, a bond forged in the heart of the wild where every day is a battle for survival. The source of the cub's distress is a force that commands both fear and respect on the African plains, a vast unruly troop of baboons. Their numbers swell beneath the shade of a lone acacia, bodies pressed close in a living, shifting mass. Each member is alert, their eyes scanning the horizon, their movements synchronized as if guided by a single, unspoken will. These are not simply playful monkeys, they are intelligent, highly organized, and notoriously aggressive primates. Their faces, often marked by scars from past battles, reveal a constant readiness for conflict. Every gesture, every vocalization is part of a complex social language that binds the troop together in a web of alliances and rivalries. A baboon troop can number up to 100 individuals, forming a formidable and chaotic society that moves through the landscape with confidence and swagger. Their collective presence is overwhelming, each step coordinated, each call echoed by dozens of voices, creating a chorus that reverberates across the savannah. They are true omnivores, their diet ranging from fruits and roots to insects and small animals. Foraging is a communal affair, with individuals constantly scanning for opportunity, snatching up whatever the land provides. Their dexterous hands and sharp eyes make them efficient scavengers and opportunistic hunters. Their constant foraging and noisy social interactions make them a conspicuous presence, a stark contrast to the solitary stealth of the leopard. The air is filled with their barks, screams, and the rhythmic sound of grooming, a cacophony that signals both unity and underlying tension. For them, discovering a leopard cub is a grim opportunity. Their sharp eyes miss nothing, and the moment a vulnerable predator is spotted, the troop's mood shifts from casual to electric, every member instantly on high alert. The social structure of a baboon troop is a brutal hierarchy, dominated by a powerful alpha male. He stands at the center, his posture radiating authority, his every movement watched and mimicked by subordinates. This leader earns his position not through gentle persuasion, but through vicious, physical combat. Challenges are frequent and violent, with males baring their teeth, lunging and grappling in displays of raw strength and determination. His authority grants him primary rights to food and mating, but it is a position he must constantly defend against ambitious younger males. The tension is palpable, as every meal and every interaction is a test of dominance and loyalty. The adult males are warriors, weighing between 30 and 40 kilograms, and armed with formidable canine teeth that are longer and sharper than those of a wolf of comparable size. These fangs are not merely for show, they are the tools of survival, capable of inflicting devastating wounds. These fangs are not just for display, they are deadly weapons used for defense against predators and for settling disputes within the troop, making them dangerous opponents for any carnivore. When threatened, the troop forms a living wall, baring their teeth and screaming in unison, a display meant to intimidate and repel. For the baboons, the act of killing a leopard cub is more than just a momentary act of aggression. It is a calculated investment in their future safety. Each attack is a coordinated effort, with scouts, attackers and sentinels all playing their part. Every leopard cub that is eliminated is one less predator that will grow up to hunt them and their young. The troop's collective memory is long, and every loss or victory shapes their strategies for generations. It is a form of preemptive warfare, a brutal but effective strategy for survival in a world where they are both predator and prey. The troop's aggression is not mindless. It is a calculated evolutionary response to the ever-present threat of predation. When the troop discovers the leopard cub alone in the tree, they swarm its base, their loud barks and aggressive postures creating a terrifying scene. The air vibrates with tension as the baboons coordinate their movements, some acting as decoys while others prepare to climb. The cub, isolated and defenseless, can only cry out in terror as the boldest of the baboons begin to climb toward it. The troop's strategy is relentless: cut off escape routes, overwhelm with numbers, and strike with precision. The attack is swift and merciless. Baboons surge forward in waves, their movements coordinated by a barrage of calls and signals, each member knowing their role in the unfolding drama. The baboons, working with a chaotic but effective synergy, surround the vulnerable cub. Their tactics are honed by generations of conflict, each member emboldened by the safety of numbers and the certainty of their cause. They are driven by a collective mob mentality, their individual courage bolstered by the presence of the troop. The energy is contagious, each baboon feeding off the aggression and determination of its neighbors. They see not a helpless infant, but the seed of a future threat, an enemy that must be destroyed. Their focus is absolute, their actions driven by instinct and experience. The cub's desperate screams are a testament to the savagery of the encounter. Its cries echo through the trees, a chilling reminder of the harsh realities that govern life on the savannah. It is a brutal lesson in the unwritten laws of the wilderness, where the feud between leopard and baboon is ancient and unforgiving. Each encounter is a chapter in a never-ending struggle for dominance and survival. The troop's coordinated assault is a grim spectacle of nature's raw and violent side, a stark reminder that survival often demands ruthless action. In this world, strength, strategy, and unity are the only guarantees of survival, and the baboon troop embodies these qualities in every fierce, calculated move. The mother leopard's ears twitch, catching the faint, desperate cries of her cub carried on the wind. Instantly her entire being sharpens, her golden eyes narrow, her body tenses, and the world around her fades into insignificance. The vast savannah, with its tall, whispering grasses and scattered acacia trees, becomes nothing but a blur as her senses lock onto the single, urgent sound of her offspring in distress. Her gaze hardens, pupils dilating as she pinpoints the direction of the danger. Every muscle in her body coils, ready to unleash a storm of power and speed. The air is thick with tension, the distant calls of birds and the rustle of the wind drowned out by the pounding of her heart. The impala carcass, still warm and glistening in the grass, is left behind without a second thought. The promise of a hard-earned meal vanishes from her mind, replaced by a surge of maternal instinct so fierce it eclipses even the most primal hunger. Her lips curl back, exposing sharp canines, and a low, guttural growl vibrates in her chest. The air around her seems to crackle with the intensity of her rage, a force as wild and untamed as the land itself. With a sudden explosive burst, she launches herself forward. Her powerful limbs stretch and contract in perfect rhythm, propelling her across the uneven terrain. Each stride eats up the distance, her body a blur of golden fur and black rosettes streaking through the grass. She's transformed, no longer the silent, patient stalker, but a living tempest. Her tail whips behind her for balance, her claws unsheathing with every pounding step. The savannah parts before her, grass bending and insects scattering in her wake. Ahead, the baboon troop is a seething mass of movement and noise. The baboons, emboldened by their numbers, jabber and shriek, their attention fixed on the small, trembling form of the cub. Their hands grasp and their teeth flash, the air thick with the scent of aggression and fear. The mother leopard explodes from the grass with a roar that splits the air, her mouth wide and fangs gleaming. She is a force of nature unleashed, her presence electrifying the atmosphere and sending a ripple of terror through the troop. Without hesitation, she hurls herself into the heart of the baboon mob. Her leap is a perfect arc of muscle and fury, landing her squarely among her enemies. The baboons recoil, their bravado evaporating in an instant. Her attack is raw and unrestrained. She lashes out with claws like curved daggers, swiping at anything that moves. Her jaws snap shut with bone-crushing force, targeting the nearest threat with lethal precision. A savage snarl erupts from her throat, echoing across the clearing. Her eyes blaze with a wild, protective fury as she batters and bites, her every movement a testament to her singular purpose. The baboons, so recently the aggressors, are thrown into utter chaos. Screeches of alarm fill the air as they scramble to escape the whirlwind of claws and teeth that has descended upon them. The mother leopard's massive frame looms over the troop, her muscles rippling beneath her spotted coat. She singles out the largest male, the ringleader, the one who dared to threaten her cub. The troop's confidence shatters. Baboons scatter in all directions, their shrieks rising in a crescendo of panic as the leopard dominates the battlefield. The large male, caught off guard, stands his ground for a heartbeat, his hackles raised and fangs bared. He is the last barrier between the leopard and her cub. With a roar, she crashes into him, her weight and momentum slamming him to the ground. Her jaws clamp down on his shoulder, teeth puncturing flesh and muscle. The baboon thrashes, his own claws raking at her, but her grip is unbreakable. The struggle is fierce but brief. The leopard's superior strength and predatory skill quickly overwhelm the baboon's desperate resistance. The baboon's powerful arms and sharp canines are formidable. But against the relentless assault of the mother leopard, he is outmatched. His struggles grow weaker as she tightens her hold. With a final decisive shake, she ends the fight. The baboon's cry of defeat rings out, a chilling warning to the rest of the troop. The leopard stands over her fallen foe, chest heaving, her dominance unquestioned. The remaining baboons freeze, their eyes wide with terror as they witness the fate of their leader. The raw violence and speed of the leopard's attack shatters their will to fight. Panic spreads like wildfire. The troop, once united in aggression, now dissolves into a stampede of fear. Baboons leap and scramble, tripping over each other in their desperate bid to escape. They flee for the safety of the trees and the dense undergrowth, their shrieks fading as they vanish into the wilderness. The unity that made them bold now drives them to scatter, each baboon seeking refuge from the avenging mother. High in the branches and deep in the thickets the baboons huddle, peering out with wide, fearful eyes. The savannah, moments ago a scene of violence, falls eerily silent. The mother leopard stands still, her sides heaving, her gaze sweeping the clearing. She does not chase the fleeing baboons. Her purpose is not vengeance but rescue. Her eyes search the branches, scanning for the small spotted form of her cub. Every sense is alert, her body poised for another fight if necessary. With a final glance at the retreating baboons, she bounds to the base of the tree and ascends with fluid grace. Her claws dig into the bark, her body moving with practiced agility as she climbs toward her cub's hiding place. There, nestled among the branches, she finds her cub, shaking, battered, but alive. The cub's wide eyes meet hers, and a soft, plaintive mewl escapes its throat. She nuzzles her cub, licking its fur with gentle, reassuring strokes. The violence of moments before melts away, replaced by a tender, protective calm. The cub presses close, comforted by the warmth and strength of its mother. In the aftermath, mother and cub sit together in the golden light of the savannah. The mother's body forms a protective barrier around her young, her eyes ever watchful. The fierce rescue is over, a testament to the relentless power of maternal love and the raw, untamed drama of the wild. As the mother leopard fiercely battled to protect her vulnerable cub from the relentless onslaught of the baboon troop, a silent transformation was taking place elsewhere on the savannah. The sight of her abandoned kill, an impala lying motionless in the tall grass, became the epicenter of a new drama, one that would draw in a different cast of characters, each perfectly adapted to seize opportunity from chaos. The scent of blood, sharp and metallic, began to drift on the warm breeze, carried far beyond the immediate scene of the struggle. In the intricate web of the savannah, no resource is left unnoticed for long. The aroma of fresh meat is a clarion call summoning the plains' most notorious opportunists, the spotted hyenas. With their keen noses, capable of detecting carrion from several kilometers away, a clan of these formidable carnivores quickly zeroes in on the impala carcass. For the hyenas, this is a windfall, a meal acquired without the dangers and exertion of a hunt, a testament to their adaptability and cunning. Their eerie, whooping calls ripple through the air, a chorus that signals both excitement and a shift in the balance of fortune. These vocalizations serve as a beacon, drawing distant clan members to the feast and warning rivals to keep their distance. Though often maligned as mere scavengers, hyenas are, in truth, among the savannah's most versatile and successful predators. They are capable of running down prey with relentless stamina, coordinating in packs to bring down animals many times their own size, and adapting their tactics to suit the opportunity at hand. The social structure of the hyena clan is a marvel of evolutionary strategy. At its heart is a powerful matriarchy, with dominant females leading the group. These females are larger, more muscular, and far more assertive than their male counterparts. They command respect, initiate hunts, and always eat first at a kill. The matriarch's leadership ensures the clan's cohesion and survival, and her offspring inherit her high status. This female-dominated hierarchy is unique among the great predators of Africa, and it underpins the hyena's remarkable success in the face of fierce competition. The hyena's most formidable asset is its bite. With jaws capable of exerting immense pressure, they can shatter bones that would defeat almost any other predator. This allows them to access the rich, fatty marrow hidden within, a vital source of energy in the harsh environment of the savannah. Their teeth and digestive systems are so specialized that they can consume and process nearly every part of a carcass, bones, hooves, and even skin, leaving little behind for other scavengers. This efficiency ensures that nutrients are recycled rapidly back into the ecosystem. As the hyena clan descends upon the impala, the transformation is swift and total. Powerful jaws tear through flesh and crunch through bone, the clan working in a frenzied yet coordinated manner. Within minutes, the impala is reduced to scraps, its energy and nutrients transferred to the hyenas. Overhead, vultures begin to circle, their sharp eyes watching for any leftovers, ready to swoop in and claim what little remains. Even the smallest scraps will not go to waste as jackals and other scavengers linger at the periphery, waiting for their chance. High in the safety of a tree, the mother leopard soothes her cub, her muscles still trembling from the exertion and stress of the confrontation. She watches as her hard-earned prize is devoured below, the cost of her decision weighing heavily upon her. In the unforgiving arithmetic of survival, she has chosen her cub's life over a meal, but the price is steep. She will need to hunt again, expending precious energy while her cub remains exposed to the dangers of the wild. This single event is a microcosm of the savanna's intricate and often brutal ecology. The actions of one predator ripple outward, creating opportunities for others. The hyena's feast is not just a stroke of luck, but a vital process in the ecosystem, ensuring that no resource is wasted, that energy flows efficiently from one life to the next. Vultures, jackals, and even insects will play their part, each species contributing to the cycle of consumption and renewal. Under the vast African sky, the relentless struggle for survival continues, each creature playing its role in the grand, interconnected web of life. Leaving behind the tangled woodlands and their shadowy dramas, we now enter a world transformed by sunlight and space. Here, the Marsi Mara stretches endlessly, a vast sea of golden grass rippling beneath the African sky. This is a battlefield unlike any other, an arena where the only cover is the undulating grass and the horizon seems to promise both opportunity and danger. Here the contest is not of brute force or stealthy ambush, but of raw, breathtaking speed, a contest where the swiftest survive. This is the undisputed domain of the cheetah, Achinonyx jubatus, the living embodiment of velocity. Every muscle, every sinew in its lithe frame is sculpted for acceleration, for the chase that defines its existence. The cheetah is the fastest land animal on Earth, capable of reaching speeds that seem almost impossible for a living creature. It is a marvel of evolutionary design, a predator honed by millennia to be the ultimate sprinter. Its body is a masterpiece of adaptation. Long, slender legs stretch and contract in perfect rhythm, propelling it forward with explosive power. In a heartbeat, the cheetah can surge from a standstill to over 100 kilometers per hour, its acceleration rivaling the world's fastest machines. For a few fleeting seconds it becomes a blur, a streak of spotted gold racing across the open plain. Every aspect of the cheetah's anatomy is fine-tuned for this singular purpose. Unlike the heavier, more muscular lions and leopards, the cheetah is built for lightness and speed. Its claws, only semi-retractable, act like the spikes of a sprinter's shoes, gripping the earth with each stride. With every bound, these claws dig into the soil, providing the traction needed for sudden bursts and rapid changes in direction. Its long, muscular tail acts as a counterbalance, a rudder that swings with each turn, allowing the cheetah to pivot sharply in pursuit of its nimble prey. In the heat of the chase, the cheetah can twist and swerve, matching the desperate zigzags of gazelles and impalas as they flee for their lives. Even its face is shaped by the demands of the hunt. The cheetah's eyes are set high and forward, granting it a wide field of vision to track the slightest movement in the grass. Black tear lines run from the corners of its eyes down to its mouth, absorbing the harsh glare of the sun and reducing reflection. These markings help the cheetah maintain focus on its quarry, even under the relentless African sun. Its gaze is unwavering, locked onto the slightest twitch of a distant antelope, yet this supreme specialization comes at a cost. The cheetah's body, so perfectly tuned for speed, is fragile compared to its rivals. Its lightweight frame and smaller jaw muscles mean it cannot stand its ground against the brute force of lions, leopards, or even hyenas. When the cheetah brings down its prey, it must eat quickly, always alert, always wary of the larger predators that roam these plains. A single lion, a prowling leopard, or a cackling clan of hyenas can drive the cheetah away, stealing the meal it fought so hard to win. To avoid these powerful competitors, the cheetah hunts in the full glare of day, when the heat keeps most predators in the shade. The midday savanna is quiet, the air shimmering with heat, and the cheetah moves with purpose through the sunlit grass. When it succeeds, it devours its kill with frantic urgency, tearing at the flesh, always glancing over its shoulder. Every mouthful is a race against time, for the scent of blood and the circling of vultures will soon draw scavengers from miles around. The wind carries the promise of a meal to the sky, where vultures spiral, ever watchful, ready to descend. The hunt itself is a spectacle of nature's finest athleticism. It begins with a slow, deliberate stalk, the cheetah's body pressed low against the earth. Each step is measured, silent, as it weaves through the tall, sun-bleached grasses, its spotted coat rendering it nearly invisible. The cheetah's camouflage is its first weapon, allowing it to close the distance to its prey, often a Thompson's gazelle or an impala, without being seen. It creeps as close as possible, sometimes within 30 meters, before the moment of truth arrives. Then, with a sudden explosive burst, the cheetah erupts from cover, accelerating with astonishing force. The chase is a blur of motion, a high-speed pursuit that rarely lasts more than a minute, but in that minute every muscle, every heartbeat is pushed to the limit. If the cheetah fails to bring down its prey in this brief window, it must abandon the chase, its body overheating from the effort. Exhausted, it retreats, panting, the opportunity lost, but its spirit undiminished. The price of speed is steep. After each chase, the cheetah must rest, vulnerable and exposed on the open plain. Even in repose it remains alert, scanning the horizon for threats, for the next chance for survival. In this sun-drenched kingdom of grass and wind, the cheetah's reign is defined by speed, a fleeting, beautiful mastery over the open plains, where every hunt is a race against time and every sprint is a testament to nature's relentless drive for perfection. Also roaming these vast grasslands is another resident built for speed, though of a very different design, the ostrich Struthiocamelus. It is the world's largest bird, a true giant that can stand up to 2.7 meters tall and weigh as much as 150 kilograms. Unable to fly, the ostrich has adapted to a life on the ground, relying on its powerful long legs to navigate its environment. It can run at sustained speeds of over 70 kilometers per hour, easily outdistancing many of the predators that share its habitat. Its height provides an excellent vantage point, and its enormous eyes, the largest of any land vertebrate at 5 centimeters in diameter, give it exceptional long-distance vision to spot danger from afar. The social life of the ostrich is centered around the breeding season, a time of elaborate courtship displays and communal nesting. A male will perform a complex dance to attract females, and he may mate with several in his territory. The females will all lay their enormous eggs in a single large scrape in the ground, a communal nest that can hold dozens of eggs. Each egg is a marvel in itself, weighing up to 1.5 kilograms, the largest egg laid by any living animal. While multiple females contribute to the clutch, the responsibility of incubation falls solely to the dominant male and the primary female. He typically takes the night shift, his dark plumage providing better camouflage in the darkness, while she takes the day shift. Defending this precious nest is a full-time job fraught with peril. The eggs are a rich source of food, highly sought after by a variety of predators, from hyenas and jackals to Egyptian vultures, which have learned to use stones to crack the tough shells. The parent ostriches must be constantly vigilant. Their primary defense is their powerful kick. A forward kick from an ostrich can be strong enough to kill a lion, and they will not hesitate to use this formidable weapon to protect their nest. If a predator gets too close, the incubating parent may also perform a distraction display, feigning injury to lure the threat away from the vulnerable eggs. After a long incubation period of over 40 days, the eggs begin to hatch. Ostrich chicks are precocial, meaning they're relatively mature and mobile from the moment they are born. They're covered in spiky, mottled down, which provides excellent camouflage against the soil and dry grass. Within days, they are able to walk, run, and forage for themselves, closely following their parents and learning by imitation. However, they are still incredibly vulnerable, and the parent ostriches must now shift their focus from defending a stationary nest to protecting a mobile and inquisitive brood of chicks from the ever-present dangers of the savannah. The moment the ostrich chicks break free from their shells, the world becomes a far more dangerous place. The vast African savanna, with its endless golden grasses and scattered acacia trees, offers little shelter for the vulnerable young. Every shadow, every rustle in the wind could signal a lurking predator. For the ostrich parents, vigilance is now a constant, exhausting duty. Among the most formidable threats are the African wild dogs, painted hunters whose reputation for teamwork and persistence is legendary. Their lean bodies and mottled coats blend seamlessly with the dappled light of the savannah, making them nearly invisible as they move with purpose across the plains. These carnivores, often called painted wolves, are masters of endurance hunting. Their stamina allows them to pursue prey over long distances, and their social structure is built around cooperation. Each member of the pack has a role, and together they form a relentless, coordinated force. When a pack of wild dogs catches sight of a cluster of ostrich chicks, their instincts sharpen. The tiny, downy birds, barely able to run, are the perfect target. Easy to separate from their towering parents, easy to overwhelm with numbers and speed. The ostrich parents, sensing the tension in the air, close ranks around their brood. Their long necks stretch high, scanning the horizon for movement, while their massive bodies form a living barrier between danger and their young. As the family edges toward a distant waterhole, the wild dogs emerge from the bush, their bodies low and movements synchronized. The pack fans out, each dog taking up a position, their eyes fixed on the ostrich family. The approach is almost ghostly, silent, calculated, and full of intent. The wild dogs communicate with subtle glances and body language, each step bringing them closer to their quarry. The ostrich parents freeze, their keen senses detecting the threat. The air is thick with tension as the adults assess the danger, their bodies tensed and ready to react. The male ostrich, towering and formidable, steps forward. He places himself squarely between the advancing predators and his chicks, his posture radiating defiance. He puffs up his feathers, doubling his apparent size, and emits a deep, resonant hiss that vibrates through the air. The sound is both a warning and a challenge, a primal declaration that he will not yield. His beak opens wide, and he vocalizes again, the call echoing across the plain. The message is unmistakable: come closer at your own peril. With a sudden thunderous motion, he stamps his feet, sending clouds of dust swirling into the air. Each stomp is a display of raw power, a warning to the wild dogs that he is not to be underestimated. Meanwhile, the female ostrich moves swiftly, herding the panicked chicks together. She uses her body and wings to corral them, guiding them away from the looming confrontation, her every movement precise and urgent. The wild dogs, however, are not easily intimidated. Their eyes remain locked on the chicks, and their bodies are taut with anticipation. The pack inches forward, undeterred by the ostrich's display. They communicate in near silence, shifting positions and adjusting their formation. Some dogs begin to fan out, seeking to flank the ostrich family, while others keep the male's attention fixed on them. The pack's tactics are clear. A few create a diversion, darting in and out, snapping at the air, while others attempt to circle around, aiming to cut off the chick's escape. The male ostrich is forced into a desperate whirling defense. He lashes out with his powerful legs, each kick capable of breaking bones or worse. His movements are swift and unpredictable, a blur of feathers and fury. The wild dogs hesitate, their confidence shaken by the ostrich's ferocity. The male's size and aggression create a formidable barrier, buying precious seconds for the family. But the wild dogs are cunning. One clever individual breaks away from the main group, circling wide, its eyes never leaving the scattering chicks. The lone hunter moves with stealth and speed, arcing around the chaos, intent on intercepting the vulnerable young as they flee. Suddenly, the chase is on. The wild dog explodes into a sprint, closing the distance with terrifying speed. The chicks, legs pumping frantically, scatter in all directions, their tiny bodies barely visible above the grass. In a flash of instinct, the female ostrich abandons her careful herding and charges the lone dog. Her wings flare wide, casting a massive shadow, her stride long and powerful. She barrels forward, her wings beating the air, her body a wall of muscle and determination. The wild dog, caught off guard by her sudden aggression, falters. With a startled yelp, the dog swerves away, narrowly avoiding the ostrich's powerful legs. The predator's confidence is shattered, and it abandons its pursuit, retreating to the safety of the pack. The rest of the wild dogs, seeing their comrade repelled and faced with two enraged, towering birds, reassess the situation. The risk now outweighs the reward. With a final, reluctant glance at the ostrich family, the pack melts back into the bush, their hunt foiled for now. The savannah falls silent once more, the immediate danger past. The ostrich parents gather their shaken chicks, standing tall and vigilant. Against overwhelming odds, they have defended their brood, a testament to their strength, courage, and the fierce bonds of family in the wild heart of Africa. The African wild dog, Lycaon pictus, is a truly unique predator, perfectly adapted for a life of cooperative hunting on the plains. Their most striking feature is their coat, a chaotic pattern of black, yellow, and white patches that is unique to each individual, like a fingerprint. This painted appearance gives them their alternative name, the painted wolf. They are highly social animals, living in tightly knit packs that typically number between 6 and 20 individuals. This pack is the core of their existence. They hunt together, raise their pups communally, and care for the sick and injured members of their group, a level of social cohesion rarely seen in the animal kingdom. Their hunting strategy is what truly sets them apart from other large carnivores. Unlike the explosive sprinters like the cheetah or the stealthy stalkers like the leopard, wild dogs are masters of endurance. They do not rely on a short burst of speed to catch their prey. Instead, they embark on long, grueling chases that can cover several kilometers. They work together with remarkable coordination, taking turns leading the pursuit to wear down their target. Their stamina is legendary, and they will relentlessly pursue an animal until it is exhausted and can no longer run, at which point the pack can easily overcome it. This cooperative hunting method is incredibly effective, giving them one of the highest success rates of any predator in Africa. The pack functions like a single intelligent organism. During a chase, they communicate with each other using a series of high-pitched yips and calls, coordinating their movements to cut off escape routes and corner their prey. Once a kill is made, there is very little aggression or fighting over the food. The pack shares the meal with a unique behavior where the hunters will regurgitate meat back at the den for the pups and any adults that stayed behind to guard them. This ensures the survival and strength of the entire group. Despite their incredible hunting prowess and strong social bonds, African wild dogs face numerous challenges in the wild. Their populations have declined dramatically due to habitat loss and fragmentation, which makes it difficult for them to find sufficient prey and maintain their large territories. They require vast territories to roam and hunt, and as their habitats shrink, the competition for resources intensifies. The survival of the painted wolf now depends heavily on the preservation of their natural habitats and the maintenance of ecological corridors that allow them to move freely and hunt effectively, a challenge that mirrors the plight of many of Africa's iconic species. In the heart of the African savannah, a new era of coexistence unfolds, one shaped not by the hands of humans, but by the intricate dance of nature itself. Here, every sunrise marks the beginning of a delicate balance, where predator and prey, hunter and hunted, each play their part in the eternal cycle of life. The great herds sweep across the grasslands, their migrations shaping the very landscape. They graze and move, trimming the grasses and fertilizing the earth, ensuring that the savannah remains lush and vibrant. In their wake, predators follow: lion, leopards, cheetahs, and wild dogs, each relying on the abundance of prey to sustain their families. The predators, in turn, keep the herds healthy. By targeting the weak, the sick, and the old, they ensure that only the strongest survive, strengthening the gene pool and maintaining the balance of the ecosystem. Each hunt is a test of skill and endurance, a struggle that has played out for millennia. Nothing is wasted in this world. The remains of a kill become a feast for scavengers, vultures, hyenas, jackals, who strip the bones clean and return vital nutrients to the earth. Even the smallest creatures, from insects to microbes, play their part in breaking down what is left, ensuring the cycle continues. The giants of the savannah, elephants and giraffes, reshape the land as they feed. Elephants topple trees and dig for water, creating new habitats for countless other species. Giraffes prune the treetops, allowing sunlight to reach the grasses below. Every action, every movement ripples through the ecosystem, connecting all life in a web of interdependence. The ongoing struggles for survival are ever present. A leopard mother passes on her knowledge to her cubs, teaching them the art of patience and stealth. A troop of baboons navigates the dangers of the open plains, always alert to the threat of predators. Each species adapts, learns, and evolves, finding new ways to thrive in a world where danger and opportunity are never far apart. The rhythm of the seasons brings both hardship and renewal. The rains transform the landscape, filling water holes and turning the plains green. Life flourishes in abundance, but as the dry season returns, the struggle intensifies. Water becomes scarce and competition grows fierce. Yet through drought and plenty the savannah endures. New life emerges with each passing year. The birth of a calf, the first steps of a foal, the playful antics of young predators. These moments of innocence are fleeting, but they are the promise of the future. The next generation learns the lessons of survival, carrying the legacy of their ancestors forward. The balance is fragile, and the struggle never ends. Every day brings new challenges, competition for food, the threat of injury, the unpredictability of the wild. Yet, it is this very struggle that shapes the resilience and adaptability of every creature that calls the savannah home. In this new era of coexistence, the animals of the savannah are both rivals and partners, bound together by the land they share. Their fates are intertwined, their destinies shaped by the choices they make and the challenges they overcome. As night descends, the savannah does not sleep. The hunt continues, the watchful eyes of predators and prey alike piercing the darkness. The cycle of life, death, and renewal goes on, unbroken and eternal. And with each new dawn, the promise of coexistence is renewed. The savannah remains a place of wonder and challenge, a living testament to the power of adaptation, resilience, and the enduring spirit of the wild. As the golden light fades and darkness sweeps across the savannah, a new world awakens, one ruled by shadows and silence. The night belongs to the elusive, the cautious, and the bold. Here, under the pale gaze of the moon, the savannah transforms into a landscape of heightened senses and whispered danger. In the cool of night, the leopard emerges as a master of stealth. Cloaked in the dappled darkness, she glides silently through the undergrowth, her spotted coat blending seamlessly with the shifting patterns of moonlight and leaves. Every movement is deliberate, every muscle coiled with potential energy. Her keen eyes pierce the gloom, seeking the faintest flicker of movement, a chance for a silent hunt. Elsewhere, a troop of baboons gathers high in the safety of ancient acacia trees. The youngest cling tightly to their mothers, while the elders keep watch, their sharp eyes scanning the ground below. The night is fraught with peril. They know the leopard's patience, her uncanny ability to wait for hours, hidden in the branches or crouched in the grass. Only the bravest or most desperate would dare descend before dawn. Around them the savannah stirs with other nocturnal life. Hyenas call out in the distance, their laughter echoing under the stars. Small mammals and insects scurry through the darkness, each step a calculated risk in a world where every shadow may conceal a predator. The leopard, guided by instinct and experience, chooses her moment. She ascends the trunk of a nearby tree, her claws barely making a sound. She positions herself above a game trail, waiting for an unwary antelope to pass below. For her, the night is an ally, a cloak for her solitary pursuit. For the baboons, the hours until dawn are spent in uneasy slumber, always alert to the sounds of the night. A sudden rustle, a distant roar, or the snap of a twig can send the entire troop into a chorus of alarm, warning each other of unseen threats. As the stars wheel overhead and the first hints of dawn colour the horizon, the nocturnal drama draws to a close. The leopard retreats, her hunger either sated or postponed. The baboons descend cautiously, greeted by the warmth of day and the promise of relative safety. In the nocturnal savannah, every creature is both hunter and hunted. The night tests their senses, their courage, and their will to survive. And as the sun rises once more, the cycle begins anew, each night a chapter in the endless story of life on the African plains. As the sun climbs higher and the savannah awakens, a new force begins to shape the destinies of its inhabitants, weather and the relentless rhythm of the seasons. With every shift in climate, the landscape transforms, demanding fresh strategies and unwavering resilience from those who call it home. In the dry season, the grasses wither and waterholes shrink, drawing animals from miles around into uneasy proximity. The leopard adapts, her territories expanding as she follows the dwindling streams. Each hunt becomes a careful calculation. Prey is more exposed, but so too is she. Her dappled coat no longer blends with lush foliage, forcing her to rely on patience and precision. For the baboons, the dry months bring scarcity and tension. Their daily journeys stretch further as they search for fruit, roots, and water. The matriarch leads the troop from tree to tree, her memory a map of hidden resources. At the water's edge, every sip is taken with caution, eyes scanning for crocodiles and lurking predators desperate for a drink. Then, as if by magic, the rains arrive, thunder rolling across the plain, unleashing life from the parched earth. Grasses surge skyward, and flowers bloom in a riot of colour. The baboons revel in the abundance, feasting and playing among the fresh shoots. The leopard, too, finds her world transformed. Prey is plentiful, but the thick vegetation offers new hiding places for both hunter and hunted. Each movement is cloaked in greenery, every scent dampened by the rain-soaked air. Other creatures respond in kind. Wildebeest gather in massive herds, following the promise of fresh grazing. Birds nest and raise their young, timing their lives to the pulse of the rains. Even the smallest residents, termites, frogs, and insects, emerge in astonishing numbers, their brief lives vital to the web of life. But with bounty comes challenge. Flooded rivers cut off familiar paths, and sudden storms force all to seek shelter. The leopard must navigate slippery branches and swollen streams, while the baboons huddle together for warmth and safety, ever watchful of shifting dangers. Through drought and deluge, blistering heat and cooling winds, the savannah's inhabitants adapt, endure, and evolve. For the leopard, the baboons, and countless others, survival is a dance with the elements, a testament to their ingenuity and the astonishing power of the African wilderness. Beneath the endless sky, the savannah's apex predators are locked in a silent contest, a daily struggle not just for prey, but for dominance, territory, and survival itself. The leopard, solitary and elusive, carves out a secretive existence in the dappled shadows, her territory overlapping with those of other formidable hunters. She moves with calculated grace, marking her boundaries with scent and claw, always alert to signs of trespass. But she is not alone. The cheetah, built for speed, roams the open plains with a different strategy. Relying on sight and stamina, she avoids dense thickets where leopards might lie in wait. When their paths cross, tension simmers. The cheetah knows she cannot match the leopard's power, but her swiftness is unmatched. A stolen kill or a chance encounter can escalate into a swift, silent standoff, each predator weighing the risks, neither eager for a costly fight. Then there are the painted hunters, the African wild dogs, whose strength lies in numbers and cooperation. Their territory is vast, their movements unpredictable. When a pack sweeps across the savannah, even the stealthiest leopard gives way, vanishing into the trees to avoid the relentless pursuit. Painted hunters are bold, chasing prey in coordinated bursts of energy, but they too must be wary. A lone dog straying too close to a leopard's lair risks a fatal ambush. This intricate web of rivalry and avoidance shapes every hunt and every meal. A fresh kill is never safe for long. Scavengers and rival predators circle, drawn by the scent of opportunity. Sometimes uneasy truces form at the edge of hunger, a tense sharing of spoils where dominance is measured in snarls and sidelong glances. Yet despite their competition, these predators are bound together by the same struggle. Each has adapted to fill a unique niche, and the balance they maintain is delicate. If one falters, the others must adjust. Territories shift, strategies evolve, and the ancient contest continues beneath the watchful eyes of the savannah. In this world, survival is not just about strength or speed, but about understanding your rivals, reading the grass, the wind, and the invisible boundaries drawn in dust and paw prints. It is a dance of danger and respect, a testament to the relentless drive that defines life on Africa's wild plains. As the sun tilts westward and predators prowl, the true masters of survival reveal themselves, not with fangs or claws, but with vigilance, speed, and strategy. Across the savannah, antelopes form shifting herds, their senses sharpened by generations of danger. Eyes on the horizon, ears flicking at the faintest sound, they read the language of the grass and the warning calls of birds overhead. The impala, swift and agile, seems to dance with danger itself. When a shadow glides across the plain, muscles coil, and in a heartbeat the herd erupts into a storm of zigzags and soaring leaps. These unpredictable bursts of motion confuse even the most determined leopard, buying precious seconds to escape. Nearby, the wildebeest rely on the safety of numbers. Their giant herds are a living shield, each individual protected by the collective watchfulness of thousands. A ripple of alarm can send the whole group thundering away, dust rising in their wake, leaving a frustrated predator behind. Birds, too, have honed their tactics. The guinea fowl and the hornbill act as sentinels, raising the alarm with shrill calls that echo across the grasslands. Even the towering ostrich, with its keen eyesight, spots danger from afar, warning others with a low boom before sprinting to safety at astonishing speeds. Some prey animals, like the steenbok, choose stealth over flight, freezing in the tall grass, perfectly still, invisible to a passing hunter. Their survival depends on knowing when to run and when to trust in camouflage. These adaptations are the result of countless seasons spent outwitting teeth and talons. For every strategy a predator devises, the prey counters with ingenuity of its own. It is an endless contest, one that shapes not just the fate of individuals, but the very spirit of the savannah itself. Here, every heartbeat is a gamble, every decision a matter of life or death. And in this ancient game of pursuit and evasion, the prey are not merely victims, they are innovators, survivors, and silent architects of the wild. As the savannah's golden grasses fade to brittle straw and waterholes shrink to muddy memories, the true test of survival begins. This is the season of drought, a relentless trial that spares none, predator nor prey. Leopards, usually masters of stealth, are forced to roam farther beneath the searing sun. Their once reliable hunting grounds yield little, and each stalk grows riskier, hunger sharpening their patience and resolve. Even the shadows offer little refuge from the heat, and the search for a precious sip of water draws leopards into new, unfamiliar territories. Baboons, ever resourceful, band together in tight-knit troops. Their days become a relentless quest for anything edible, roots clawed from the parched earth, seeds scavenged from beneath thorny bushes, or the rare bitter fruits clinging to the branches above. Tempers flare as competition intensifies, yet their social bonds are a lifeline, helping them endure when food is scarce and danger lurks at every turn. Across the plains, herds of wildebeest and zebra press onward in dusty columns, drawn by instinct and memory to the promise of distant rain. Each step is a gamble, the path littered with the bones of those who faltered. Predators follow in their wake, equally desperate, their fates intertwined with those they pursue. At shrinking pools, a fragile truce settles over the thirsty multitudes. Lions, elephants, impalas and warthogs gather side by side, wary but united by necessity. Every creature feels the weight of drought, each drink, each mouthful of food, a victory in itself. For some, survival means adaptation, the steinbock nibbling drought-resistant shrubs, the giraffe stretching for leaves out of reach of others, the resilient birds probing dry mud for hidden insects. The savannah becomes a crucible, forging resilience in every life it touches. Yet even in the grip of scarcity, hope endures. The distant rumble of thunder signals the promise of rain, a reminder that hardship breeds innovation, and that every creature, from the smallest bird to the stealthiest hunter, must learn to bend but not break. In the cycle of drought and renewal, the savannah's spirit persists, undaunted and ever adapting.